Good morning, students. In this session today we are going to see Geography Unit 1 Asia and Europe. Students, listen carefully. Make a note of each and every important points in your social classwork note. If you have any doubt, make a note of it. The doubts will be clarified on the reopening day. Students, in the first term itself you have learnt about how many continents are there in the world and their names. In this lesson, we are going to learn in detail about Asia and Europe. First, let us recall the 7 continents in the world. How many continents are there? Yes, 7 continents in total. North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Asia, Africa and Australia. Okay, now let us explore these two continents, Asia and Europe. This lesson discusses about the location, boundaries, physical and political divisions of Asia and Europe. The major river, climate and natural vegetations are highlighted in this lesson. It also explains about how economic activities are determined by their resources. Students, first let us see about Asia. Asia is the largest and the most populous continent in the world. It has different types of physical and cultural features. It covers about 30% of the world's land area and about 60% of the world's population. Students, most of the land of Asia lies in the northern hemisphere. It has different types of physical and cultural features. Lofty mountains, plateaus, plains, islands and peninsulas are the major physiographic features of Asia. Students, many perennial rivers flow through different parts of Asia. These river valleys are the cradles of ancient civilizations. For example, Indus Valley, Mesopotamian and Chinese civilization. Okay, now let us know more about our home continent Asia. Students, Asia extends from 10 degree 11 minutes south to 81 degree 12 minutes north latitudes and from 26 degree 2 minutes east to 169 degree 40 minutes west longitudes. It spread for an area of 44 million square kilometer. Students, as you already know that Asia is Earth's largest and most populous continent. It shares the continental landmass of Eurasia with the continent of Europe and the continent landmass of Afro-Eurasia. Asia covers an area of 44,579,000 square kilometers. That is, it is about 30% of total land area and 8.7% of the Earth total surface area. Asia is notable for not only its overall large size and population, but also dense and large settlements. Now let's see about the boundaries and regions of Asia. Asia is surrounded by the Arctic Ocean in the north, Pacific Ocean in the east, Indian Ocean in south and the Ural Mountains, Caucasus Mountains, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Caspian Sea and Black Sea in the west. Students, in general terms, Asia is bounded on the east by the Pacific Ocean, on the south by the Indian Ocean and on the north by the Arctic Ocean. The border of Asia with Europe is a historical and cultural construct, as there is no clear physical and geographical separation between them. The Suez Canal separates Asia from Africa. The narrow Bering Strait separates Asia from North America. Students, the most commonly accepted boundaries place Asia to the east of Suez Canal, separating it from Asia, and to the east of the Turkish Straits, the Ural Mountains and the Ural River, and to the south of the Caucasus Mountains and the Caspian and Black Seas, separating it from Europe. Students, it is clear now the Suez Canal separates Asia from Africa, and the Bering Strait separates from Asia from North America. Now let us see the political divisions of Asia. Students, there are 48 countries in Asia. The countries are grouped into several realms based on landscape and political status, such as East Asia, Southeast Asia, South Asia, Southwest Asia and Central Asia. Students, the mountain systems of Central Asia not only have provided the continent's great rivers with water from their melting snows, but also have formed a forbidding natural barrier that has influenced the movement of peoples with the area. Migration across those barriers has been possible only through mountain passes. A historical movement of population from the arid zones of Central Asia has followed the mountain passes into the Indian subcontinent. More recent migrations have originated in China with designation throughout Southeast Asia. Now let us see about the physiographic divisions. Asia is a land of long mountain ranges, snow-capped high mountains, vast plateaus, extensive plains, river valleys and sea coast. These diverse physical features encourage the people of this continent to involve in diverse economic activities. The physiography of Asia can be divided into 5 major groups. How many groups, students? 5 major groups. They are the northern lowlands, the central high mountains, the southern plateaus, the great plains and the island groups. The northern lowlands. The northern lowlands are dominated by flat agricultural fields, small farming towns and lowland rainforest. It spans the area east and west of the Northern Highway up to the Mexican border. The North Siberian lowland is formed by moraine and ice-laid deposits, underlaid with sandstones and argillates. Permafrost is a common phenomenon in this area. Students, do you know how these lowlands are formed? Yes, in the ice-free areas, lowlands formed because of the continued actions of rivers. Streams debouching from the Rockies have spread sands, occasionally wiped up into sandhills well beyond their banks. Those funneling in the Mississippi River have created a vast plain. Students, the northern lowlands of Asia extend from the Ural Mountains in the west up to the Bering Strait in the northeast. The most extensive lowland in Asia is the Siberian Plain. It extends from the Ural Mountains in the west to the Verkhoyansk Range in the east. Now let's see about the Central Highlands. The Central Highlands stretches from Turkey to the Bering Strait. There are 2 not found in Asia. Students, the part of the peninsular plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as a Central Highlands. North is nothing but the north refers to the convergence of some of the world's major mountain ranges. The Pamir Mountains lies mostly in the Tajikistan. To the north, they join the Tian Shan Mountains. To the south, they border the Hindu Kush Mountains along Afghanistan. To the east, they extend to the range that includes China in the eastern Pamirs. They are separated by the Yarkand Valley from the Kunlun Mountains. Now let's see about the Armenian Knot. Students, do you know the Pamir Knot is called the roof of the world? Let's see why Pamir Knot is called the roof of the world. The Pamir Mountains were created by crustal tectonics. These mountains now radiate from the Pamirs and most of them are more than 4,000 meters in height. Because of this, the Pamir Mountains are known as the roof of the world. The Armenian Knot is the central and highest most lock of 3 land plateaus formed, whereas Pamir Knot consists of 5 knots of mountain areas. Armenian Knot is in northern part of Middle East, but Pamir Knot is located in high altitude of Central Asia. The Hindu Kush range, the Suleiman range, the Himalayan range and the Tian Shan range radiate from the Pamir Knot. The Hindu Kush range continues westward as a Elbrus, whereas the Suleiman range continues southwest as a Zagros range. The Himalayan mountain range is the highest mountain range in the world. Mount Everest, 8,848 meters, is the highest peak in Asia as well as among the world. Students, did you know the facts about Mount Everest? Now let's see some mind-blowing facts about Mount Everest. Everest is a massive 8,848 meters tall, just below the cruising height of a jumbo jet. Everest is over 60 million years old. Mount Everest grows approximately 44 millimeters every year. Mount Everest is not actually the tallest mountain on this planet. It was first measured in 1856 to have a height of 29,000 feet, but it declared to be 29,002 feet. And it's still growing at a height of about 40 millimeters per year. And it is still growing at a height of about 40 centimeters per century. The lowest point in the world is located in Dead Sea in Asia. Intermontane plateaus are found in these mountain ranges. Students, now let's see the unique about Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is one of the saltiest bodies of water on earth, with almost 10 times more salt than ordinary seawater. This is because water flows into a Dead Sea from one main tributary, the River Jordan. The high salt and mineral content of the Dead Sea mean that this body of water has powerful healing properties. The Dead Sea is actually a salt lake. It is located in southwestern Asia between Jordan on the east and Israel and the West Bank on the west. The Dead Sea is about 50 miles long and 10 miles wide. Its surface is 1,312 feet below sea level. The land surrounding the Dead Sea is a desert. The hot summer temperature causes the lake's water to evaporate at a high rate. When the water evaporates, it leaves behind salt. The area gets very little rain, so the water that evaporates is not replaced very quickly. Because of that, a high concentration of salt has built up in the Dead Sea over the years. The salt has been used since ancient times. In the 1900s, nearby factories began collecting potash, magnesium, calcium chloride, bromine and other chemicals from the sea. Now let's see the important plateaus. The important plateaus are the plateau of Anatolia, the plateau of Iran, the plateau of Tibet. First, let's see about the plateau of Anatolia. This plateau, called the Anatolian Plateau, is enclosed by mountains on the north, south and east. In the west, the plateau gives way to a low fertile plain. One of the best agricultural areas in the country, Turkey has a long coastline. The western coast is indented and has many excellent natural harbors. The most important urban center on the plateau is Ankara, historically a significant regional market town and since 1923 the capital of Turkey. And you know what, students? This region became famous for exporting raw materials. Organized trade between Anatolia and Mesopotamia started to emerge during the period of Akkadian Empire. The Iranian Plateau or the Persian Plateau is a geological feature in Central Asia, South Asia and Western Asia. It is a part of the Eurasian Plate wedged between the Arabian and Indian plates, situated between the Zagros Mountains to the west, the Caspian Sea and the Kobat Dag to the north, the Armenian Islands and the Caucasus Mountains in the northwest, the Strait of Hormuz and Persian Gulf to the south and the Indo-Gangetic Plain to the east in Pakistan. Now let's see about Plateau of Tibet. It is the highest plateau in the world with an average altitude 4,500 meters. Tibet Plateau has many firsts as following. It has the highest mountains in the world, 8,850 meters. It has the largest canyon in the world, River Great Canyon, with a total depth 5,382 meters. And it consists at the headwaters of the drainage basins of most of the streams in surrounding regions. Its tens of thousands of glaciers and other geographical and ecological features serve as a water tower, storing water and maintaining flow. Plateau of Tibet, the highest and biggest plateau on earth. It formed 55 million years ago, covering an area the size of Western Europe, area of 2.5 million square kilometer. Arabian Plateau is more than 2,500 feet, 760 meter high, extends across much of the Arabian Peninsula. The plateau slopes eastward from the massive rifted along the coast of the Red Sea. The interior is characterized by vistas and valleys drained by the system of wadis. Now let's see about southern plateaus. The southern plateaus are relatively lower than the northern plateaus. Arabian Plateau, Deccan Plateau, Yunnan Plateau. Now let's see about Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is a large plateau in western and southern India. It rises to 100 meters in north and to more than 1000 meters in the south, forming a raised triangle within the south pointing triangle of the Indian coastline. It extends over 8 Indian states and encompasses a wide range of habitats. A plateau is located between two mountain ranges, the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, each of which rises from the respective nearby coastal plain. The plateau is more distinctly a plateau with areas of rolling uplands, precipitous folder and fork block mountain ranges and deep river-cut gorges about 6,000 feet in elevation. The Yunnan part has mountain peaks rising above 12,000 feet in the west. Let's see about the Great Plains of Asia. Low plains occupies the rest of the Asian mainland, particularly the vast West Siberian and Turar plains of the interior. The remaining lowlands are distributed either in the maritime regions such as the North Siberian and the North China Plain. Those plains have monotonously level surfaces with wide valleys through which the great Asian rivers and the tributaries flow. Manchurian Plain, it covering 350,000 square kilometer. It is China's largest plain with an elevation of lower than 200 meter and less than 100 meters to the southwest. The Manchurian Plain of Asia is the other name of Amur Valley. Manchurian lies between the Great Sieves in excess of 600 mm. Manchurian, the northeastern part of China. Manchuria is bordered by Mongolia, Russia, North Korea. Manchuria is separated from Russia largely by the Amur and Argun. North China Plain, or also called Yellow Plain. It forms the large alluvial plain of northern China built along the shore of the Yellow Sea by deposits of the Yellow River. The three most important are northeast, the North China and the middle lower plains, which together constitute the bulk of the country. Plain area extending in one stretch to form a north-south plain belt. Indo-Gangetic Plain. The Indo-Gangetic Belt is the world's most extensive expanse of uninterrupted alluvium formed by the deposition of silt by the numerous rivers. The plain are flat and mostly treeless, making it conducive for irrigation through canals. The area is also rich in groundwater sources. The Indo-Gangetic Plain came into existence by the filling up of the sediments from the Himalaya and partly from the northern peninsular India. In the Fordip basin in front of rising basin was transformed later into vast plains. Mesopotamian Plain. Mesopotamia is a Greek word meaning between the rivers. The rivers are the Tigris and Euphrates which flow through modern Iraq. Mesopotamia is made up of different regions, each with its own geography. Irrawaddy Plain. It is a river that flows from north to south through Burma. It is the country's largest river and most important commercial waterway, originating from the confluence of muddy rivers, and it flows relatively straight north-south before emptying throughout the Irrawaddy Delta. The Asia Islands are the group of 3 small islands in the open sea north of the Raja Ampat. They are located 117 kilometers north of the island and around 50 kilometers north of the last of islands and 210 kilometers south of the island of Toby. Let's see today's activity. First one. Name the important intermontane plateaus found in Asia.